Hi, second graders. I hope that you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Today I'll be reading chapter 2 in our new read aloud Swamp Monster in third grade. This one's called Lizards in the Lunch Line. But before I do that, I first want to say happy birthday today to Josie. Today's her birthday and it's a beautiful day outside. So, Josie, I hope that you have a great day. I heard from Jackson in our video meeting today that you were having like a little birthday parade drive by, which sounds like fun. So I hope you get to see lots of friends and that you have a great day. All right. So when we left off yesterday in the story, Jake and his cousin Dominic are swamp monsters, and they're actually at this part in the story, they're actually out in the swamp. They're not at school like we see on the cover here. And Jake was just telling his cousin Dominic that he went to what he called a webless creature's house. Um, and a webless creature, we kind of realized, is a person like us. So chapter 2 is called Webless Creatures. Jake swam fast, but Dominic kept up with him. After about 10 minutes, Jake poked the green points of his hair up out of the swamp water. Dominic popped his head out beside Jake. The two swamp creatures were hidden among the weeds and scraggly trees of the swamp. "Are you sure this is safe?" Dominic whispered. "My dad told me to never go beyond the big mangrove tree." Dominic nodded toward the big tree that cast shadows over this side of the swamp. The tree's long limbs hung out over the water, but the two boys were way past the big mangrove. Jake shrugged. "It's okay, as long as we're careful. Just don't tell Nancy. I don't want to get grounded again." And remember, Nancy is Jake's little sister, who we saw in the first chapter. That is Nancy up here. "I won't say anything," Dominic told him. "I don't want to get in trouble with my dad." "That's them," Jake whispered, pointing toward a group of 4 human kids. "Wow," Dominic breathed in admiration. Jake could tell that it was the first time Dominic had ever seen webless creatures, which are people like us. Jake couldn't help boasting a little bit. "I know them. Emily is the girl. Tommy is the one with the yellow hair. They're my friends." So here is the picture of Jake and Dominic. Remember, they're the swamp monsters, and they're kind of like spying, kind of snuck up on these kids here who are playing on the beach. And Jake, of course, says, that he knows them, and Dominic says, "No, you don't. I don't believe you." "Great balls of mud," Dominic exclaimed. "What are they doing?" Jake watched 2 of the webless boys toss a white ball back and forth. "That's Ryan and Frank. They're playing baseball. I saw it on Tommy's TV." Dominic had this weird look on his face. Dominic is the one who doesn't believe his cousin Jake that he had, been to their house. So Jake explained about TV. "It's this box that little itty bitty people are in. The little people play games and eat all kinds of neat looking food. They even put dirty clothes in white boxes and the clothes come out clean." Sounds like what to us? What would be like a white or maybe silver box that you put dirty clothes in and then they come out clean? What would that be? Yeah, that would be like a washing machine. Dominic nodded like this made perfect sense to him. "Let's go talk to them," Dominic suggested. Jake shook his pointed head. "I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. It's dangerous. What if some grown-up webless creatures are around? There's no telling what they might do to us." "Come on," Dominic begged. "I just want to see what the webless creatures are like. You said they were your friends. Prove it. Besides, I don't see anyone else around." Jake hesitated. He knew what it was like to be fascinated by the webless creatures. Before he'd met them, Jake had always wondered about them. He'd found out they were really great, at least most of them. It would be nice to talk to his webless friends again, but he knew it was dangerous. "No," he told Dominic. I almost died the last time I was on dry land. Being out of the water too long isn't safe for a swamp monster. It'll just be a second, Dominic insisted. What could happen? Jake didn't want to think about what horrible things could happen. A picture of being caught in a net was taken to a laboratory for investigation flashed through his mind. He shook his head. No, it's not worth it. So he's thinking the risk of them going up to these people is not worth, problems that could happen from doing that. But Dominic wasn't going to take no for an answer. He stomped out of the swamp before Jake could grab him. Muddy water dripped off Dominic's green body, and swampweed hung from his arms. The four kids took one look at Dominic and screamed. So now think about it from the kids' point of view. If you're like playing baseball with some friends near the water and a swamp creature came out of the water, you would be really scared, of course. So here's a picture of that. And chapter 3, I'll read tomorrow. It's called Green Goosebumps. So before we stop here, can anyone make a connection? I know we did this with our last story too, but can anyone make a connection to another story or another text that we had read about some sort of, creatures that were living kind of near the water, that were sort of interested in humans or people that they were seeing? It's a story that we had read in school before the BFG. So when we actually were back in school, what our last read aloud was. So be kind of thinking of what that was. So when you click the add response button, you can maybe tell me another story that you can think of where some creatures were living by like some water, maybe like a pond area, and they saw some humans that they were interested in. So if you can't think of it, I can tell you what that was in the comment. And also, happy birthday again to Josie. I hope that you really have a nice day today. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.